So you've signed the dotted line to become an Army private. Congratulations on your decision to trade comfortable civilian life for the privilege of being at the absolute bottom of a very tall, very loud chain of command. While your high school friends are deciding which party to attend this weekend, you'll be deciding which boot polish brings out the shine that makes Drill Sergeant Smith scream at you slightly less. Your Army journey begins at Reception Battalion, where you'll experience the military's unique approach to customer service. Remember how excited you were when you signed up? That enthusiasm will evaporate faster than your civilian identity as you stand in formation for 6 hours to receive 3 t-shirts and a haircut that makes you look like you lost a bet.
Welcome to the Army, Private,
says the board specialist behind the counter who's clearly contemplating his life choices while stamping your paperwork for the 7th time, because apparently the previous 6 stamps weren't official enough. Your introduction to Army mornings is special. While normal humans use alarm clocks, you'll be woken by the sweet sound of bugle calls or a metal trash can being thrown down the center of your bay at 0430, followed by your drill sergeant's motivational morning greeting.
Why are you still in your bunks? The enemy is planning to attack while you're dreaming about your mama's cooking.
You'll then have exactly 30 seconds to make yourself combat ready, which is apparently Army speak for put your pants on the right way around. Uniform inspections in the Army are where you'll learn that there are approximately 147 ways to incorrectly wear a simple camouflage outfit. Your belt buckle is 0.3 millimeters off center. Push-ups. Your bootlaces have an extra millimeter showing. Push-ups. You breathe too loudly while standing at attention. Believe it or not, also push-ups.
Private, why is there a wrinkle on your uniform?
Your drill sergeant will ask with the intensity of someone disarming a nuclear bomb. Meanwhile, their uniform somehow defies the laws of physics by repelling all forms of wrinkles, dirt, and apparently reality itself. Land navigation is where the Army teaches you that GPS technology is for weaklings. Instead, you'll be dropped in the middle of nowhere with nothing but a map from 1982, a compass that may or may not point north, and coordinates that seem to have been written by someone who flunked basic math.
It's simple, Private. Just find Point Golf 937, which is located at the intersection of this creek that dried up 3 summers ago, and this trail that's now completely overgrown.
6 hours later, you'll either discover you've been walking in circles, or worse, accidentally wandered into another training exercise where you're mistaken for the enemy. At the rifle range, you'll learn that the Army has a special relationship with its weapons. You'll spend 3 days cleaning your rifle, only to fire it for 20 minutes, and spend another 3 days cleaning it again. The Army believes that a clean weapon is more important than your personal hygiene, which explains why you'll be scrubbing your rifle with a toothbrush while smelling like you've been marinating in a gym locker.
Private, I can still see carbon in that star chamber.
Your range instructor will shout, somehow detecting a microscopic speck of residue from 15 feet away, yet miraculously unable to see the mustard stain on their own uniform. Welcome to the Motorpool, where as a private, you'll become intimately familiar with every vehicle in the Army's inventory without ever being allowed to drive one. Your primary task, PMCS, Preventive Maintenance Checks and Services, which is military jargon for find problems we already know about, but need you to document again. You'll check fluid levels in vehicles that haven't moved since the first Gulf War, and you'll learn that WD-40 and 100-mile-an-hour tape, aka duct tape, are acceptable solutions for approximately 90% of mechanical issues. The other 10%, that's what the good enough for government work shrug is for. Barracks life is where you'll experience the Army's unique approach to personal space. Your room will be subject to inspection so thorough that NASA would consider them excessive. Your towels must be folded with mathematical precision, your bed made tight enough to bounce a quarter off it, and heaven forbid if your wall locker isn't organized by color, size, and possibly alphabetical order. Meanwhile, the communal bathrooms will teach you more about your fellow soldiers than any team-building exercise ever could. Nothing builds unit cohesion quite like sharing 3 shower stalls with 20 other people, while someone outside yells that you have 30 seconds left. The Army's finance system operates on principles that would make even quantum physicists scratch their heads. 1 month you might receive double pay, leading you to briefly think you've hit the jackpot, only to receive nothing the next month, because the system is correcting itself. Try explaining to your car insurance company that you can't pay because DFAS, Defense Finance and Accounting Service, is correcting itself. The finance clerk will say,
No, Private. I can't tell you when it will be fixed. Have you tried not buying things?
Field exercises are the Army's way of reminding you that comfort is for civilians. You'll sleep on the ground in the weather conditions that would make penguins complain, eat cold MREs because your heating element failed, and discover new places on your body that can develop blisters. The highlight is always the night fire exercise, where you'll be so sleep-deprived that the tracer rounds start to look like a really beautiful light show, and you'll find yourself having deep philosophical conversations with your helmet. The Army loves mandatory training more than a 5-year-old loves candy. You'll attend countless PowerPoint presentations on everything from sexual harassment prevention to the proper way to pick up a box. The presenter usually sounds like they're reading the slides for the first time, and the videos look like they were filmed on a budget of exactly $7.50 in 1994. The best part, you'll sign at least 3 different rosters proving you were there, because apparently one signature isn't enough to confirm your presence in a room where you're visibly falling asleep. Deployment prep is where you'll learn about the Army's fascinating relationship with time. You'll be told to be ready to leave at 0600, so you'll arrive at 0530, only to sit in formation until 1400, because someone can't find the manifest that was in their pocket the entire time. You'll also receive approximately 87 pounds of gear that you absolutely need, most of which will never leave your duffel bag. And despite checking your packing list 17 times, you'll inevitably forget something crucial, like extra socks, which on a deployment becomes more valuable than gold. CQ duty, charge of quarters, is the Army's way of ensuring you never get a full night's sleep. As a private, you'll pull CQ runner duty, which means you'll sit at a desk all night waiting for phone calls that never come and delivering messages that could have been emails. Your only entertainment will be the broken vending machine and that one weird Army regulation manual someone left behind. In 2007, the NCO in charge will say,
Remember, Private, don't sleep, don't sit comfortably, and for God's sake, don't look happy. This is serious business.
Meanwhile, the same NCO will disappear for 3 hours for a quick inspection of the premises. But it's not all suffering. The Army offers benefits like the opportunity to see exotic locations around the world through the window of a transport vehicle. As you drive to another training exercise, you'll get free housing in the form of barracks that have character, Army code for mold problems. And don't forget the thrill of wearing the same uniform as everyone else, eliminating those stressful morning decisions about what to wear. You'll also build resilience, which is a fancy way of saying you'll learn to function on 2 hours of sleep, caffeine, and pure spite. These are skills that civilian employers will definitely appreciate, even if they have no idea what showed exceptional resilience during extended field operations actually means on your resume. Years later, as a veteran, you'll find yourself inexplicably missing aspects of Army life. You'll bore your friends with stories that always start with this one time in the Army. You'll still wake up at 0500 because your internal clock is permanently broken. And you'll maintain bizarre habits like eating meals in under 5 minutes or calling your bathroom the latrine. But you'll also have a network of friends who understand exactly what that was some real Army bullshit means without explanation. You'll have stories that no one believes, but are somehow completely true. And you'll have the satisfaction of knowing you survived something that would make most people quit on day one. So to all you future Army privates, embrace the suck, as they say. Remember that when your drill sergeant is screaming so close to your face that you can identify what they had for breakfast, they're not mad. They're just preparing you for the day when your first sergeant will do exactly the same thing because you missed a belt loop. And hey, look on the bright side. At least you're not in the Coast Guard, where they have to deal with the same nonsense but while seasick. Disclaimer: this video was approved by absolutely no one in Army leadership. which ironically makes it the most authentic Army content you'll ever see.